Hello, everyone, and welcome to Industry Insider. My name is Carrie Wise, and I'm joined with my colleague, Matt Jones. And we're here for Industry Insider. It's a show that we do every week where we talk to the big movers and shakers in the industry from an OEM standpoint, from a dealer standpoint, and all across the automotive industry. Matt, why don't you give them a little bit more background on what this Industry Insider is all about?
Yeah, this Industry Insider is one of our favorite activities here at TrueCar. Carrie's been in the car business for over 20 years. I've been in the car business for close to 20 years. We both love auto, so as everybody else at TrueCar. But we know, especially in these challenging times, we thought that we had a perfect opportunity to create a platform for dealerships who are actually, having success to share their tips and their techniques with the dealership body as a whole. And that's why we call this Industry Insider dealer-to-dealer conversations. But it's going to expand beyond just dealerships. But we know that sometimes the best information that a person can actually get comes from somebody who's living their same life, walking in their same shoes. So that's why we're so proud to put this on every week and bring you some of the industry's brightest and best.
And I just want to remind you to share it. In fact, I'm going to go on my phone and share it right now. So make sure you share this with your friends, with your colleagues, with anybody who might be interested in learning some best practices from some of the best.
Yes.
And we also want to remind you that this content and other content in terms of dealer best practices, insights, spotlights will be shown on our dealer blog. So you can go to truecar.com/dealer blog and see this interview and other interviews that we've done in the past. So check that out.
Absolutely. The more people we can help, the better.
Absolutely. So today's show, we're going to be focused on social media. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. Matt, you might be sharing it.
Yeah, I just shared
it. So that always happens. So today we're going to be focused on social media. Speaking of social media, and how you can build connections with your community, how you can really use it as a competitive advantage relative to other dealerships. And we have chosen a dealership that is at the top of their game when it comes to not only social media, but marketing in general. Matt, I'll let you introduce our guest while I share it with my group.
Yes, please. And turn your mute on because I didn't. I'm sorry. Today's guest is Brian Ortega, and he is the creative director at Valley High Toyota, which is in the city of Victorville, California, outside of Los Angeles. We're super excited to have Brian on our show today because he and his store, like Carrie said, they've mastered how to use social media. But they've also, and that's not always something that dealerships are able to do. A lot of dealerships, they dabble in it, but they don't really master it. And I think Brian's going to be able to tell us what they've done at that store and the benefits that come along with it. So it's one thing to use social media, but it's a completely different thing to be productive with it. On top of all that, if you watch the show, Carrie and I are super into community involvement. We are very serious about hearing about dealerships who are embedded in their communities and who work to make their communities better. And I think that's one of the reasons we're super happy to have Brian on, because one of the things that his dealership is known for really impacts the community. So without any further ado, we're thrilled to have Brian on the show. Welcome, Brian.
All right, Brian. Welcome.
Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning. Thanks for having me today. This is awesome.
And Brian, a sincere thank you for coming in. We know the month is coming to a wrap. I know how tight it is for your time. So an extra sincere thank you for making the time towards the end of the month to be on our show. Thank you.
Well, anything that has to do with social media, I'm all for. So no problem, guys.
Right on.
Absolutely. So before we jump in, why don't you give us a little background on yourself, starting with how long have you been in the business and what does your automotive career look like?
I've started pretty much 7 years ago to the day. I remember it. And all I did was get hired to take pictures. I am a film major. Someone knew me. I was out of job, and they gave me a call and said, this dealership needs their pictures on the website. And my skills just kept coming into play, and my role kept evolving like it does in automotive, and everything just kept getting thrown on my plate, and I could do video. I'm writing commercials, and I'm doing radio spots. I'm Photoshop. I'm graphic designer. So doing everything and juggling. And then so my initial role was it was called media relations. Then it evolved into social media / marketing. And then I go, but it's so much more than that. So, well, what do you want to be called? And I'm like, well, how about creative director? So that's the
Nice.
Creative director. So that title isn't common in automotive. That I haven't heard that title in automotive before. So tell us exactly, like, what do you do? Like, what do you do on a day to day?
Anything that has to do with advertising, whether it's social media or television or designing billboards or putting stuff out there for the website. It's kind of all in-house. Yes, we do have an agency that handles a lot of our ads, but I was doing that as well for certain posts and things like that. So I'm trying to push things off my plate so I can concentrate on more on the creative side and coming up and building more campaigns for the dealership.
I think that's so important. I mean, from a title standpoint, Matt, you were like, we haven't seen this in automotive. Well, certainly on the vendor side, like we have a creative director, right, at TrueCar, and you see it at the agency side. And I think titles are important because I think it expresses that this is more than just, social post, for example,
Right.
me putting social posts or just handling this one aspect. A creative director has this broader role of the brand, right? And really driving that. So that I love that your dealership has that role.
Yeah, I think it's pretty smart too, because like you said, although you have an agency, but if you've been in the business for a while, you know that most people, I say this with love, a lot of dealerships phone these things in. They just kind of have other people do that. It's kind of nice to hear somebody who's actually at the store, on the store level, who understands what's going on at the store, is taking part in creating that advertising or that social mediaing or whatever the public is seeing. So that's actually really, really cool. And maybe that's the reason why you're so good at it.
Well, I mean, like you said, if you have to phone it in, not in so many ways, right? I mean, you're literally phoning it in and then also ignoring it, right? Mm-hmm. Let's leave it up to them. But they don't know the area. They don't know, the population. They don't know what's foods in the area or other businesses or what's going on in your town. And so by having this in-house, I'm able to run downstairs, if somebody has a souped up Tacoma, post that on social media instead of waiting a couple days, or somebody coming in and working on service. So there's a lot of things that if we can do this in-house, definitely it's worth having.
I think we might have an example of a commercial that you did. Would you be okay if we played one? I think we got one with like a drone delivering a car or something.
Okay, let me pull it up. I know.
Is this familiar to you, Brian?
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah. So Brian, you're going to tee it up.
So what it is?
What was this commercial about?
Actually, this was in the beginning of the year, and we have a great company that we work with, Spectrum. It's a kernel, and we brainstorm commercial ideas. And going back to it, what Matt was saying, we really drive what we want to get the point across. We just don't let it fall in their laps. And obviously, that's my general manager and myself. And so this is about delivering cars. We want to be relevant at what's going on, especially now during this pandemic. We're kind of pushing this even further because if people don't want to come to the dealership, they can just have their cars delivered to them. We'll take it to them.
Okay, let me play it and then we'll come back to it. Hopefully this plays okay.
Our express delivery service was a huge hit last year. What are we going to do with the growing demand this year? Way ahead of you, Todd. Check it out. My new express delivery drone.
Order received.
Oh, I'm not so sure about this bird.
Drone acquired. Ready to deliver.
Welcome to the future. It's working.
Delivering. Warning.
You just haven't used them, Tacoma. Try our express delivery service today at Valley High Toyota.
Very catchy.
Yeah.
That's super awesome. That is super awesome. I'd much rather watch that than watch the static image of a car driving down a street through a bunch of leaves or something like that. Like that's actually real in personality. I love it.
So who came up with that idea of the drone? I mean, how did that come about?
Like I said, we just try to find whatever's going on. And obviously at the time drones were popular, and said, what if they picked up a vehicle? And, once we kind of have that inkling of an idea, then we just let the writing team run with it and they said, if we can make it do this and that, how about that? We're all for it. So if you want to, yeah, go to look at our YouTube page. We don't like boring, right? We want to constantly be branding. And a tip out there for that is, of course we have our summer sales event going on now, but we splice this in, we have this as a branding spot usually it's with with general manager Todd Stokes and myself. This next one we're doing next month is going to be an animation spot. So it's going to be Valley Heights Toyota land. So look out for that.
That's really cool. Animation's really hot right now too. If you look at a lot of the brands,
and that's the point, right? We're always trying to evolve and get things ready. I don't know if you have access to the one that we did that's currently running. I could kind of tee that up.
I have the drive-through test drive. That's what it is. Yeah, let me pull that one up as well, just to give an idea. So do you want me to play it, or you want to give a little background first?
I can tee it up real quick. So, have you guys been to a drive-through graduation?
Yeah. Oh, I haven't been to one, but I've seen them on social.
Yeah. Or a party, right? You're driving down the street.
We had a drive-through birthday party.
Right. So we wanted to, of course we had we're open during COVID and all these things. We had that spot, but we're trying to get back into the swing of things, and we're kind of focusing on the relevant, what's going on with the pandemic, but also kind of having some fun with it.
All right, let's play it.
You ready for another test drive?
Yeah, let's roll. Here they come.
Check out the 2020 Tacoma TRD 4x4 double cab.
What's the towing capacity?
It's up to 6,800 pounds.
Do you have any deals?
1,500 customer cash.
That DJ?
Uh-huh.
Hey, check out the map.
Do you have any bread?
Yeah.
I think Mom's gonna love this.
That's awesome. That was a great idea. Especially, it's so relevant right now, right, to what people are actually doing. I love that idea.
These are perfect. These are great. Now, what you said when you got started at the company was because somebody said, "Hey, this dealership needs their pictures on the website," right? And that sounds a little bit different than what you're doing now, because we know you're creating TV, ads. But we want to talk about social first. So, what made you embrace social, on the dealership's behalf? Like, what made you? Was there a particular moment? Did it feel like why did you decide to go so hard with social?
Well, what was it? 2014, somewhere late 2013, around that time. You see the pictures of people with their cars, and that's was great for then. But I think we saw the writing on the wall. Todd wanted to notice something different. He had a social media person here, but it was kind of minute things and here and there. But to me, social media is social, right? It's not. Of course, you're kind of soft selling here and there, but you want to engage with people. And I think Facebook was at its apex then, and it was trying to come into its own. Business pages were really kind of blowing up at the time. So I just embraced it when I was given the opportunity. And I think we were very early on with videos too. Always posting something with the videos, whether it had to be about the dealership or people working at the dealership or a new vehicle that was coming in. But I kind of embraced the video because that's what I went to school for. Went to UC Santa Barbara and as a film major. So I kind of was trying to implement all that.
So I think what you brought up was really important, because when you look at a lot of dealers' social media accounts, and this isn't a knock on dealers, but you do see similar posts. And so it might be that they're highlighting a vehicle, and they want to kind of make sure they have this particular vehicle on the lot, or someone bought a car and they're shaking hands, or no longer shaking hands with COVID, but they're taking a picture. The person has a sign that's like, you should buy here, right? And so you kind of see those same posts, but it sounds like you're thinking more about the brand in general, because in order to get a transaction, I got to get awareness and interest and that whole marketing funnel. And a lot of times it feels like businesses make the mistake of only thinking about that transaction from a social media standpoint and not the whole marketing funnel which drives the transaction. So tell me your thoughts on that and why you chose to take a different route.
Yeah, I think brand awareness is really important when it comes, because we're bombarded, right? Every day there's somebody that has a new idea, or as we're trying to evolve, especially pushing the envelope when it comes to these spots. So you want to be in somebody's face at all times, whether it's an ad or it's a commercial, the billboards, anything like that. You just want to keep letting people know that you are there, because your competitors, if they're not doing anything and you are, obviously that's going to give you a little leeway when it comes to advertising. And plus your cost per clicks and everything goes down, right? Because if people are involved and they're coming back to you, and they're landing to your website, and the impression amount is going down because you're not fighting so hard for it, because you're building a community with people in your area.
Mm-hmm. Makes a lot of sense.
It does. There's so much opportunity, in my opinion, for growth. It's when you see somebody who does something well, it's like I'm not bothered when I see their posts when they're fed to me in social. It's like they tend to be interesting. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy it. And what does that cost in like an advertising equivalent to get that kind of engagement? I think it's really fantastic. So you've got a fantastic plan around your social, and you've got lots of engagement. I think your Facebook page, your dealership Facebook page has like 19,000 or 20,000 followers or something like that.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, it kind of evolved. I mean, people don't really like pages anymore, right? And since Facebook a couple years ago kind of, pushed down pages, you really kind of got to vie to get back in there. So to me, comments and sharing and liking the posts, it is more pertinent now as it was back then. But what we used to do is, well, I don't know if you want to talk about our car giveaways yet, but that's kind of
it's coming. I love those giveaways.
Yeah, Matt wrote an article about us. About the 6 years ago about our car giveaways. That's actually what kind of just catapulted our involvement.
Really?
It wasn't just we're giving a car away, come in the dealership and write something. It kind of evolved. When I began this whole process, we had maybe 2,000 likes on the page. But we got involved with the local community website that gives news out called the Victor Valley News Group. And I teamed up with them. I pitched it. Hey, we're going to give a car away. Do you mind if I share it to this group? And he, at the time, I think had 70,000 followers, just always sharing local news, right? Because if you keep everything within the area, I mean, those are your customers, right?
Yeah.
Because they're in your backyard. So by doing these giveaways, we were able to really catapult our likes and involvement, because people started to get involved. And it was, now recently I've gotten to the point where post a comment and that's your entry to become a finalist for these cars. So
let's back up and let's talk about the car giveaway. Let's talk about it. So if you can, because I know that you guys have been doing it, but tell us about that process. Like, what kind of cars? Because if you're just watching this from a car dealership and you hear a car giveaway, that they might think that we're selling cars real cheap. Like, explain what you're really doing. What you're really doing.
Yeah, our general manager Todd Stokes had done it a few years back, giving the cars away. And what they are, they're used cars, but they are conditioned, they are processed, everything, they're gone through everything as if we're going to put them on the line. We ask our used car manager, hey, can you help find us a vehicle? And it could be any brand. Most of them are usually Toyotas, but we've given away a Nissan Xterra before. We've given away hybrids and things like that. But they go through the conditioning process, and it just came about because the community, I mean, we need involvement. We need people to feel that somebody cares, and we do care. And it's to the point, Carrie, where people are, you don't really give cars away. You don't give away. I think we're on our 19th, and I'll talk about the 20th, but 19th car giveaway. And I direct them to our YouTube page, and look, here's people driving off. They're in their car, So they don't believe it until they see it. And I love those comments. yeah, what do you got to do? Of course, we have people fill out, and they're not. We don't say free. We don't say they're free cars because they got to pay tax and license. It's their car, you know. So, $500 as a lot better payment than $6,000-7,000.
So a nice car gets traded in every so often. Your team will recondition it, and instead of putting it on the line, you just have like enter your name, drop a comment on here, and your name is entered into a giveaway, and you can receive this $6,000-7,000 car. All you got to do is pay tax and title.
So I found one. Everyone likes to watch videos. So let me play one. I think I found one. It says used car giveaway winner is a Marine veteran. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that was Christmas time last year.
Okay, yeah, it looks like 2018. I'm just gonna play a little part of the video and see so that people can get an idea of what this is about. So bear with me. Let's see. That looks right, like the right one. Yep. All right.
Awesome.
Did 6 years in the Marines from 2006 to 2012 as a tank crewman down at Camp Pendleton. Did one tour in Iraq in 2008.
This was one of the first times I entered into anything like this, just because you usually don't think you're ever gonna really win. And when I heard that it was opportunity for a veteran, I was just really, really thankful for the opportunity.
Your name goes on the wheel. All right. Spin. Frankie is here. Great.
Looks like you guys are picking a winner on a wheel.
Oh yeah, they're totally random.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that really gets entered into anything like that. So it's just really, well, that's cool. And just kind of like get back to work, get back to take care of myself, doing what I have to do every day, and then it just kind of get gradually building. So then it was just like, okay, don't get excited. Just, because that way, if it doesn't happen, you can just go.
We went live to give this away. He was one of 2 finalists.
Wow.
It took us a long time to finally land on somebody.
To spin that to complete 2 to get one.
We went from 18 finalists, and these were 2. He was at work, so she was watching his wife, and we asked people to record the reaction.
Oh.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh, this is gonna make me cry. You should have warned me. Oh, you should have warned me. I don't like to cry.
You're the one that chose that one.
There you go, Ian. All
Oh, that was so cute.
He called him, and he's watching at work. It was.
A veteran is receiving this car.
Thank you very much for your service to our country and protecting our freedoms. It is greatly appreciated, and congratulations.
Yeah. Ian and Megan, congratulations on winning the 2006 Toyota Matrix. And you're having a lot of fun. It's a great little car. So great on gas.
So we are just beyond thankful and grateful and blessed for this opportunity and this immense blessing that you've given to our family, and we are beyond grateful for you. So thank you so much, Valley Toyota.
Oh gosh. I don't know if I can continue this interview now after this. That is so, I just love that. Like I picked the perfect video because I think it's not about the car giveaway, but it's about the people. And you could have just given the car away and posted it, but to tell the story, I mean, I'm in tears. And what makes me so happy about your approach is we're in an industry where dealers struggle all the time to gain the trust of consumers. There's just a trust gap that exists that even if you're a great dealer, you have to probably battle every day. And to me, that kind of video where it humanizes the dealership, it humanizes them. And I just, that's brilliant. So Brian, I mean, let me let you talk, but tell me more.
Well, each and every giveaway is different. How to qualify. We've done one where you show us the face that you would make if you won the car, and people posted pictures of, so we had a finalist come from there. We had finalists that would draw or where would you go or different things just to build that engagement. And it's a different person all the time. We've had older people. We had a student from the college. She didn't have her license yet. We can't give you the car. She went to go get her license, and she drove it, and she was able to drive it to school. So the gamut. We had a teacher that we drove to the school and surprised her with it. All of her fellow teachers were in on it too. And we surprised it, handed the keys over. And of course, that was another bawling session. So don't watch that one, Carrie.
No, I can't watch that one. I didn't know I was going to cry on this one. I'm still crying. So, but I think what's amazing is that you're capturing the story. And that, I think dealers do a lot of great things in our business. We're probably one of the more charitable industries out there from a community standpoint, but capturing it so that I could be touched by it is like, I think pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, Brian. That's why I was like so excited. I kept talking to everybody, the meetings that we would have at work, Carrie and I'd be like, guys, you got to watch the show this week. Brian's going to be on. Let me tell you what Brian does. Let me tell you what they do. They give cars away, like literally, I mean, that's just so effective.
Yeah, but Matt, let me stop you in this. Let me stop you on one point. They give cars away, but to me, it's like they change lives. And that is actually the hook. Because if you say they give cars away, I react, but seeing the story puts me in a whole nother place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Telling that story is impactful, right?
Yeah.
We've we moved into this brand new state-of-the-art dealership a couple of years ago. We were here then to comply with the Toyota. We moved next door, and when we came back, we actually gave a new car away. We gave a new Toyota. Which one was it? Was it the Yaris? It might have been a Corolla. But we gave it away, and the winner, and we invited them all to the dealership, the finalists, and same thing, spun a wheel. We went live with it, and it was a student from the college again, and he won a new car, and he does so much for his family. And like you were saying, Carrie, I don't know, every time somebody wins, it's for that person, for some way, some divine intervention, the right person wins a particular vehicle. And you're right, we change lives. People are now able to take their kids to school. People are now able to go to work or go to school themselves, and that's what it's about. So we make sure that we kind of try to do 2 to 3 every year, and if a dealer's, we build it in our marketing budget. I mean, we put that in. Everything is set when it comes to that, and then we broadcast it. I mean, we share it. We let everybody know that you can enter. Of course, you have to be 18. You have to, then one of these contests, I had people fill out and get points if they subscribe to our YouTube page, if they follow us on Instagram. This is how they qualified, and somebody from New York ended up being one of the thank God he didn't win, because we would have to ship it to him or something. But it was a great time, and it's always a great opportunity for us to give back to the community that does so much for us. We're about 400,000 people in the desert. If you don't know, it's right on your way to Vegas, but we're in between LA and Vegas, and it's in the high desert. And, there's a lot of people that move here because the cost of living is lower, education or the, their income is a little lower. So getting a used car is new to them. So
Yeah.
I don't know if this kind of giveaway would work with other areas. You know, we can't give a used car in Beverly Hills or something like that, but
Right.
our area, it's definitely pertinent, and we're thankful to give back.
And I gotta say, Matt, it must have been divine intervention for me to choose that one too, because I don't know if you know, Brian, but we are huge on military at TrueCar, and we actually give a car away every year in a program we call Driven to Drive. And we just launched TrueCar Military, which is a military shopping site for veterans and their families. So, anyways, it was ironic that I chose that particular one, because we're kind of doing the same thing at a different level, you know.
That's awesome.
That's
so
great.
you got 400,000 people in Victorville. Like, I don't imagine that there's too many dealerships out there that are impacting the community and making lives, more, just making life better, like you guys are. So I'm interested. How does the community respond to this? Like do people bring it up when they're in the store, like, or they're just shopping, or hey, I saw your car giveaway, or like, how does this impact like your everydays?
Well, to not knock the local dealerships, we have sister dealers, next door and things like that, and they do things. And actually, last year they gave away a car to a first responder.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, maybe not as heavily involved as we are. Another dealership gives a new car away to students who are going to class every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people kind of tune into ours a little more because of the stories, because they can build that trust with us. And like I said, our relationship with the local businesses, and that's another thing, Matt. We also team up with local businesses. Hey, I give them a call, a pizza place. I'm going to announce a finalist today. You want to give away a pizza? Sure. Hey guys, let me know what's your favorite topping in the comment section, and we'll give somebody, a pizza from Gridiron Pizza, or a facial or local beauty supply area, because they know that, we reach a wide audience, and that spans, from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill. And it's a great opportunity to build, some B2B relationships as well.
That's just fantastic.
Yeah. Speaking of friends and community, Raul Carrasco says, "What's up, bro?"
Yeah.
You know him? Sounds like a friend of yours.
Yeah, he's a friend. We go to church. Yeah. What's up, man?
So he's watching, and a lot of other people are watching as well. But I wanted to ask you about your Facebook friends group. So the dealership has a Facebook friends group that
Correct.
has 2,000 members. So how is that different? What is that, and how is that different than your dealership, your normal Facebook page?
Remember I mentioned, and we were kind of early in on it. Again, I noticed that, business engagement was going down. I mean, yeah, we were posting everything, but we weren't getting as involved or getting as much engagement as we were. And I know it's because the algorithm, right? Facebook was changing. They were trying to get more personal, and things like that. So, and I told my boss, I was like, hey, let's create a group page. I think we can definitely talk to them and get involved with them, and they'll be able to see our posts. And that one is even more granular. I just post a lot of fun stuff in there. And the other day I posted, remember this phone? It was that little Nokia, and we get people talking here and there. And sometimes, they get exclusive stuff. I'll give something away, a bag from the dealership or a mug to just people from our friends page. And so I'm just trying to encourage people to join that page. And they're like friends. I mean, we message one another, and they congratulate. And that's even better, Carrie, is when someone wins these cars, even though everybody's entering, just how congratulatory they are to their fellow man. They're congratulations, Denise, congratulations. So, and that, to me, that makes even me more content and happy, because they're not, oh my gosh, who does she think she is? She
There's no haters in your group, right?
Yeah, it's so awesome, and I appreciate them. This is a great town, and I thank everyone involved.
Yeah, that's great. I've never heard of a dealership having, in essence, like a private group, right? Which is kind of a big thing now. There's so many private groups on Facebook. I'm probably in like 70 of them.
Yeah.
But I think in this time, particularly with COVID and the pandemic, people need connection too. So and you can only do it virtually in many cases. So I think that that's pretty smart to have that group that is
Yeah.
at a deeper level.
And with that, it's people are really laying things out there, and they're like, hey, I really need to win this car because my mom is going through this, and I need to drive down the hill, and it really gets to me, but we can't do anything. It's totally random. There's nothing we can do. Your hardship is hard for you, but to somebody else, theirs is, and it matters to them. So how can we calculate that? There's just no way. So we just try to give them more opportunities by building more engagement. Hey, make sure you're commenting, this and that, and then somehow, some way, it works out.
Great.
That's just fantastic. Now, like all of this happens on social, so I got to ask you, with how things are changing slightly on Facebook with algorithms again to become a little bit more personal, but social's still going to play a role. And I want to know from you, from somebody who's probably mastering it at a higher level than what I've seen in automotive, especially on the dealership level. What role do you think social is going to play, in automotive conversations going forward? Like, is it going to be integral? What do you think?
It's going to be more personal. I mean, people, they've done their research. They know which car they want. They know all the bells and whistles. They know, so now it's, let me look for the dealership that's going to care about me, that's going to take care of me. So if we put something out there, we want our sales force to match that. So our GM is really heavily involved when it comes to how we treat customers. So to me, that's where it's evolving. And I'm dabbling into, actually, I've been doing it, just messages, Facebook Messenger, answering message. Hey, how much is that car? If I'm posting a story, we'll answer really quick. Or if somebody's asking if something is available, I won't let the bot take it. Some of them I will let the bot take it, but I'm actually at home sometimes just answering them. Yeah, we just got this Tacoma in, and this how many miles it has, and all that. So to me, it's just going to become more social and
and more personal.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
I think we want to wrap with, advice for the dealerships, the salespeople that might be watching, and they're trying to create a social media brand. You're trying to build their brand on social media. What advice would you give to that salesperson? And then what advice would you give to the dealership on how they can better build a brand on social media?
First, I would advise the dealership is to care. To care about your site, to care about your page, to care about your social media. Don't let somebody else handle it. I don't know. I know some dealerships can't hire somebody from within, but then that's when you kind of maybe entice or give them people in your dealership the opportunity, to take over or to share, or to post, or take photos and post videos and things like that. Because the more involved the salespeople can be, then, and I always encourage them all the time, hey guys, let's try to get you on screen, so people can, hey, I saw that guy on Facebook, I'm looking for him, So I would just advise them to care, but to be real. I mean, people are going to know if you're fronting or not, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to pretend somebody that you're not, and they show up to your dealership and you're a bunch of jerks, and the persona that you're giving on is that you're cool and you're lovey-dovey with everyone. And, people are smart right now, right? They'll read right between that, and they will know that they're being bamboozled. And then you're trying to sell them a car too at the same time. So, times have definitely changed, and some people in the industry have yet to, but they got to know that this thing is now, and it's definitely the future of buying a car.
And what about on an individual basis? That, a lot of individual salespeople are building brands on their own, almost like a real estate agent builds their brand. They might work for a company, but they still build their own individual brand. Like, what advice would you have at an individual level?
At an individual level, I would just have them let people know that they're available, let people know that if they're in the market, that you're there. Yeah, you're going to post that you're the party, but show that you have a job and you're proud of your job, that you're happy to sell cars. Everybody knows somebody who's looking for a car. And on an individual level, get involved with the dealership. Not only post for your sake, but on behalf, and say, hey, I created this content. Do you mind if we post it to the dealership page? If somebody came up to me and said, Brian, and they have, hey, Brian, can you post this on the? I'd be happy to, because the more content out there, the better. And that's another thing I would share. Just keep posting something, because we're not all seeing it, right? So sometimes we have to keep sharing and having people post. So just to build that engagement, so they become that trusted person at that dealership, that face, that name.
Great.
Those are fantastic pieces of advice. I mean, we see people trying, but they're not, unfortunately, with the advice that you're giving, people might have a little bit more success and just be a little bit more directed at what the goal is.
It's just being consistent, man. I mean, keep doing it. If you're not getting people to respond, I mean, keep trying, keep putting it out there. Someday it'll grasp. It took us years to get to the level that we are with our Facebook page. I can post right now, hi, and I'll get 40, 50 responses just saying hi. So
wow.
I think I need to, like, on a personal level, when we get off this call, I might have to get some tips from you, because I could use some help too. Now, Brian, you're like a mastermind of this. Now, would you, like, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and maybe just talk a little bit and pick your brain, would you be okay with that? And if so, how would they reach you?
Yeah, well, you can go to the Valley High Toyota page. I'm there on Messenger. Personally, if we come up with these ideas. I just got the memory, where Facebook gives you memories.
Yeah.
4 years ago, I created this billboard, and it says, go ahead and pass gas. And it was about a Prius, and it had the little wind emoji. And I was like, I can't believe we got away with that. Just always trying to come up with something creative. I'm on LinkedIn, Brian J. Ortega, or on Instagram, Brian J. Ortega. I have to put the J because there's an MMA fighter named Brian Ortega.
Oh. Maybe different advice from that guy.
Yeah, definitely from him.
That's great. That's great. Well, of course, you're on all the different socials, so I'm sure you're going to get a lot of people hitting you up to learn more. Thank you so much. I didn't expect to cry in this interview, but I am glad I wore my waterproof mascara today.
That's what it's about, evoking emotion.
Sure.
Yeah. But you guys are doing just a fantastic job. I'm really just super enamored with everything that you guys do to impact your community, the way that you're looking at it, just how you guys maintain your social presence and your presence within the community. I just think it's fantastic. So just to a straight up
oh, thanks. So what I was going to say is we're giving away a new car. We teamed up with a radio station, and to me, it was a no-brainer. And if this is going to dealerships, right, know where your dollar is, but also take that plunge. Our name is bombarded on the radio station every day, and it reaches, a way wider gamut than we could individually. So this time we're giving away a new car for summer, and our name's all over the radio. They're social, but we're gonna definitely get back to a used car giveaway. So you guys stay tuned for that. I don't know how, but we're gonna get back to it.
So how does someone enter to win this new car?
Asking for a friend. Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Like
Yeah.
I said, for instance, say we're live right now, and I would say, hey, Raul, let me know what your favorite Toyota is, and we'll randomly select a comment to become a finalist for the used car giveaway, something like that. So it could be that. It could be a fill-in form. Sometimes, like I said, it's asking for a follow. It changes every time, whatever is relevant. And that's what we're trying to do, is just stay relevant to the times. Maybe it's, right now, create a Valley High Toyota TikTok dance. We'll pick the best. We're not on TikTok yet. I need to hire a younger.
My 13-year-old is available, by the way. She is no joke.
He knows that TikTok, huh?
She rules TikTok.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Brian. We've learned so much in this short time. We really appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank you.
And and I'm definitely going to follow up with you personally because I want to watch these next giveaways. You know how much I love them.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Go to the website, go to YouTube, watch all these commercials. We've had zombies for 3 years straight for our Halloween commercial. And then eventually I turned into one. You guys got to go.
Zombies, drones, like
I saw a dragon on one of them.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh, that's another story. We almost got in trouble with HBO because we called it Game of Loans, and that one's one of my favorite actually. If you guys want to go take a look at that,
I've seen that. I thought that was great.
Oh, that is so awesome. Well, I mean, it's like I said, never a boring day at Valley High Toyota because of Brian Ortega. Thank you so much for your time, Brian, and we really appreciate having you on.
Thank you so
Matt.
much.
Thank you. Likewise, appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Wow, Matt. So, you didn't warn me that I'd be crying, and I legitimately was crying. I was trying to play it off a little bit, but I was really crying. And but it's always good to be touched. And I gotta say, like, it's about the stories. Like, it's about the stories. It's not about the tactics, although those help, right? Having the giveaways and posting and having these private groups. But it's how you weave that story. And to me, that was the brilliance that I got out of this one. What did you get out of it?
Yeah, for me, it's like I'm thinking that there's money being spent no matter what, right? When you're advertising, your money is being spent, whether it's a flyer, whether it's a car giveaway, right? But I'm thinking the money that they're spending, because when you mentioned they build it into the advertising budget, this is impactful, right? I'm more likely to talk to my buddy about, hey, did you see Valley High gave away a Supra or whatever they're giving away, as opposed to if I got a flyer in the mail or if I saw, a commercial or something like that. So you can use the same money, but actually really change people's lives. I thought that's just great. The other takeaway though was Brian himself. Now, having come from dealerships and I have friends who work at dealerships, you usually don't see that level of mastery when it comes to managing your social.
Right. It might be someone that was in the store. Maybe they were in sales or whatever. They got promoted up and they all of a sudden became the marketing director.
Right. But they didn't necessarily know that. Remember Jeff Ramsey, he said, well, they hired me and they made me the internet manager because I knew how to send an email. Right. So some of our social people in our industry, unfortunately, for better or for worse, are like that. They usually don't have that level of acumen.
They have to learn on the job.
They learn on the job. But hiring somebody out of from a creative.
Yeah. UC Santa Barbara, wasn't it?
Yeah, he said, graduated from film school from UC Santa Barbara. If Valley High would have hired me, they wouldn't have had those same results. It's the truth. I'm not a creative. I don't know how to create film.
Definitely had those pictures next to the cars. Look, we just sold a car.
I can't lie. I had those pictures on my wall in my office. I mean, I had a wall of pictures of me handing keys to people. So that's why I'm saying, like, this goes so much more. I didn't want to knock anybody. That was me. I did that.
You gotta start somewhere.
That's what I was doing. So I think he's just all around great. I really love the tactics that they're doing.
Well, we had a great show. Thank you so much for those who have joined us. As I mentioned, a lot of this content is going to be on the TrueCar Dealer blog. You'll see videos, you'll see articles, infographic, insights, research, all kinds of stuff. It's all for free and it's open to anybody, whether you're a TrueCar dealer or not. So check that out. We really appreciate having Brian Ortega on from Valley High Toyota. Thank you so much. Matt, any final words?
Thank you, Brian. We look forward to thank you for everybody who tuned in. Share this so that we can spread the word and get more people just a little bit better on their game and we can make our industry better together.
Yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday for our surprise guests. See you later.
See you later.